everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my match predictions for week 33 Premier League fixtures. And if we have anything like we just saw week 32, some dominant display from some teams, we are in for a set of amazing fixtures. We saw some amazing results happen in week 32. We saw the clash of the two best teams, not only in Europe in my opinion, but in the world, between Manchester City and Liverpool, which ended in a 2-2 draw. We even saw Everton somehow miraculously win 1-0 against Manchester United, even though they're hovering in and around the relegation zone. We also saw Brentford also beat West Ham, obviously 2-0, with Christian Eriksen having an amazing impact on that side. So I'm telling you, if we get these sort of performances, these sort of results yet again, we're going to be seeing some phenomenal displays. But for week 33 fixtures, I think we got some good games coming up as well, despite Manchester City and Liverpool not playing. We got Tottenham versus Brighton, and we know the last time we saw Tottenham play a game, they beat Aston Villa 4-0, and they have been scoring goals like crazy lately. We also got West Ham versus Burnley, the clash of the claret and blue sides. We even got Arsenal going to St Mary's against Southampton. Let's see if they can bounce back from their two horrific defeats in a row. Let's see if Arsenal have the makeup and the character to bounce back. But before going into this video and give my predictions, you know what I'm going to say. Make sure you guys like, comment, and hit that big subscribe button right there, because I'm like 5 to 10 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. So please hit the subscribe button, and only 10 to 15% of you guys are actually subscribed to my channel. So please hit the subscribe button, man. It will help grow my content. So the first game I'm going to be predicting is Tottenham Hotspur versus Brighton, and Tottenham have won 5 out of their last 6 games, looking to continue their push, continue their momentum to hunt down the top 4 place. So Tottenham so far in the last 6 or 7 games or so, I know I said it in my last video, but they have been absolutely superb, absolutely extraordinary, scoring goals for fun. And this is not something you would associate with a typical Conte side. You would think they'll be resilient, counter-attack, not really look to attack that much, look to literally hit teams when they have the opportunity and win by a 2 or 1 goal margin. But Tottenham under him have been scoring goals for fun. Harry Kane, Kulusevski, Son scoring a hat-trick against Aston Villa in his last game away from home at Villa Park. The way these three have built chemistry up front has been the recipe to success for Tottenham in terms of scoring goals. They've scored 23 goals in the last 6 or 7 games or so. It's been absolutely phenomenal to watch, and let's see if they can keep this up. Not only going forward, they've been superb, even at the back. Ben Davies looks like a changed player when we know he's actually an average centre-back. Even players like Romero looking like he's a solid signing, maybe one of the best signings of the season, the way he's transformed Tottenham's defence in their 3 at the back system. Conte deserves so much credit, the way he's been animated, his personality, and the way he's even been talking in interviews, showing that he has the hunger and the fight to chase down this top 4, saying that, look, my players know that we smell blood in and around Arsenal because they've been losing games. It's starting to feel like he has belief in his players, belief in the system that potentially they can finish in the top 4 race this season. When we knew 2 or 3 months ago, he was saying, look, we are nowhere near ready to compete for the top 4 race because we do not have the players and they do not have the personality and the character to do this. But it looks like he's changed his mind and he has a change of hearts, and let's see if Tottenham can continue their push against Brighton in this game. However, I know Tottenham have been flying like I've been saying, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be an easy game versus Brighton. This is because Brighton just beat Tottenham's neighbours Arsenal 2-1 in their own stadium. So at the moment, it doesn't really feel like Graham Potter's men is letting the foot off the gas at the moment, because obviously they're not really playing for much this season, nowhere near the relegation zone, and not really high enough to compete for the European places. However, I'm not going to doubt Tottenham. They've beaten Brighton in 4 of their last 5 appearances against them, so they have the psychological edge to get the result done. I know Brighton defensively were cohesive as a unit to prevent Arsenal from really playing with players like Odegaard, Saka and Lacazette. However, we all know Tottenham's attack is much more dangerous compared to Arsenal, and it's going to be a massive job for Brighton to hold players like Kane and Kulusevski and Son to no goals. It's going to be absolutely difficult, so everything's pointing in the direction of Tottenham, even the momentum. So why not? I'm going to be predicting a 3-0 straightforward victory for Tottenham at home against Brighton FC. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Manchester United versus Norwich, and honestly, it doesn't really feel like either team is playing for much this season. We already know that Norwich are basically guaranteed to get relegated this season, despite getting a great victory against Burnley, winning 2-0, and they dominated the game in all facets. The way Burnley couldn't even get near to them, the way Burnley were defensively horrendous, but that's neither here or there, because Norwich did still have to get the goals to get the all-important win. So if Manchester United are at home versus the bottom of the league team, surely Manchester United are going to win and wipe the floor with Norwich. Or are they? because we know Manchester United have been struggling against relegation contenders when it's come to teams like Everton not being able to beat them this season, coming to teams against Watford not being able to beat them this season. Even a game against Norwich at Carrow Road, they were only able to scrape a 1-0 victory. So it's not like Manchester United are this mighty team who wipe the floor with any team which comes into their path. Manchester United have not won in their last 3 games, so which gives them the divine right to have that confidence and that belief that we're going to be able to destroy you when we see you at Old Trafford against Norwich. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We just do not know with Manchester United. They're just too unpredictable. We saw the game against Everton. It just feels like nothing's going their way. Maguire making another mistake, even if you call that, probably just unfortunate the way the goal deflected off him. Even plays like Matic. I know Rangnick loves talking about control of the ball, controlling the game, the tempo, dictating play, but Matic was doing anything but that. He was dictating the game for Everton, keep losing the ball in the crucial areas which allowed Everton to counter-attack with speed and pace. Even plays like Rashford, his head was down throughout the whole game, no confidence, no appetite to really get involved. Sancho looking out of place on the right-hand side. Ronaldo didn't really have that good of a game against Everton as well. So honestly, there's so many signs pointing down for Manchester United, and I guarantee you will not find a Manchester United fan the most passionate, loyal fan, the most optimistic fan to say that they will easily, comfortably win against Norwich, because like I said, we do not know what type of side will show up against Norwich in this game. What is undeniable and is a fact is that Manchester United are versus Norwich, who pretty much have the worst defence in the league, second to Leeds, conceding 63 goals this season already. Manchester United surely have the firepower with world-class players, although who haven't been consistent on their day can cause any team a threat, where players like Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo, Pogba, the list goes on, these guys are match winners, is undeniable. However, these are the same players against Everton who made players like Keane look like prime John Terry back in the Mourinho side of 2005, even though Everton were conceding goals for fun in the last few games or so. So even Burnley scored 3 goals against Everton, and Manchester United couldn't even muster a goal against Everton. So what makes me think they're going to be able to muster a goal against Norwich? See, it's just, you just don't know what you're going to get from Manchester United. However, Norwich are so bad that honestly, how can I not bet in Manchester United's favour? So going in this game, I'm going to be predicting a 2-0 victory for Manchester United at home at Old Trafford. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Southampton versus Arsenal, and Arsenal are going to be looking at this game as a great opportunity to bounce back from their 2 horrific defeats in their last 2 games, and they're starting to feel the pressure because now Tottenham have leapfrogged over them into that 4th place. So Arsenal are going to have to play catch up now when top 4 was literally in their hands before their last game in their loss to Brighton. So Arsenal, I know they're inexperienced. The players like Odegaard, players like Saka, Martinelli are still young, they're still youthful, they don't have the experience to see games through or have the toughness to fight back, but they're going to have to roll their sleeves now because honestly, Tottenham are building such momentum that Arsenal need to get some victories under the belt. However, the defeat against Brighton, there's only one man to blame. It was Mikel Arteta's fault in that game. He got his tactics wrong. What was he thinking? Partey was missing because of injury, so that's fair enough. Obviously, can't blame a manager for that. But how are you going to literally completely destroy the whole of your midfield by putting Xhaka at left back, which left players like Odegaard, Smith Rowe and Lokonga to literally marshal the midfield, which allowed the Brighton players to be as physical as possible and dominate that midfield battle? Arteta got this horrifically wrong. At least Xhaka, we know he makes mistakes and we know he's not the best of midfielders and he's prone for a yellow card, but there's one thing we cannot deny: he's a leader and he has the presence in that midfield to ensure that they can control games when the games looks like it's not going their way. So playing Xhaka left back obviously isolated him because the right winger for Brighton had a field day, but even other than that, Brighton were having their way because the midfield battle, it was easily won. The persistence of Arteta to keep starting Lacazette when we know he has not scored in his last 6 games or so is absolutely ridiculous. Arteta must be thinking the game against Southampton, should I just put Martinelli up front? Let's just see this as a test period. Is he a number 9? Because we do not know. Liverpool had to find out with Diogo Jota if he's a number 9, and it looks like it's working. So it looks like, can Arsenal start Martinelli there to see if they can get the same sort of success that Liverpool had? because it's clearly not working with Lacazette. And maybe this is the best chance to do this in this tactic against Southampton, because we know Southampton just conceded 6 goals against Chelsea in their last game. And we know Chelsea are a great side, but it wasn't like Chelsea were in fine form coming into this game. They lost their last 2 games in a row, conceding 7 goals. So Southampton is going to be easy pickings for Arsenal, or at least it should be, because honestly, I could not have picked a better opponent for Arsenal, a team who are nowhere near the relegation zone but do not really have aspirations of European football next season, and a team which just lost by 6 and are not filled with any confidence going into this game. So surely Arsenal should really have a good chance of winning this game. However, going this game, I'm going to be predicting a 1-1 draw. I just feel like Arsenal's chances have dried up. They haven't been creating that much chances. Players like Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Saka haven't had the best of games recently. We're only scoring 1 goal in the last 2 games. And it just feels like they do not have that clinical number 9 to put the chances away when it really matters, man. So, and I feel like the pressure will get to Arsenal, because now the top 4 race is really heating up, especially with Tottenham leapfrogging them, like I said. So going this game, like I said, a 1-1 draw. I won't be surprised even if Southampton win, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is West Ham versus Burnley. And like I said in my introduction, this is the battle of the claret and blue sides. And let me just start off with West Ham. They're looking to win this game because obviously they still have an outside chance of finishing in the top 4 this season. And Burnley are trying to win this game as well because they have an outside shot as well to literally try get out the relegation zone as well, because they do not want to get relegated. However, going into this game, I am so disappointed in Burnley. Burnley mustered a great victory against Everton, winning 3-2 in the dying embers of the game. And you thought a victory like that was going to give the club, the players, the manager a massive lift going into their next game against Norwich, the bottom of the league team, where it was a surefire bet for you to win that game easily, but somehow left you getting dominated and losing by 2 goals against the worst team in the league. How on earth did Burnley let this happen? It is absolutely a disgrace. How could you lose like that in such a fashion? Like, it's unbelievable. And going to this game against West Ham, we know West Ham are a way better side compared to Norwich. So surely Burnley are going to have to fix up their attitude and fix up their performances if they have any chance of at least even getting a point in this game, which we know is not enough for them because they're playing catch up to try get out of the relegation race. What made Burnley was their defensive resilience. And in that game against Norwich, with the way they kept getting pulled out of position and not able to get really close to any of the Norwich attackers going forward. So that foundation was not there in that game against Norwich, and they're going to have to fix up against a way better West Ham side, who we know on their day are one of the best teams in the country. The one thing which I feel like is going in Burnley's favour is that West Ham's team is very thin, and we know they have the priority of chasing that Europa League trophy, and since they drew their last game against Lyon 1-1, they're going to be focused completely on that game on Thursday, and then whatever happens in the game against Burnley on Sunday, they're just going to take that result. We just saw against Brentford, they lost 2-0 because they couldn't really rotate their squad, because if they did, they do not really have the quality in that department, and the players did look a little bit jaded in that game against Brentford, which gave them the advantage. So let's see if that sort of advantage is going to pay dividends for Burnley to help them try get the win against West Ham. But at the end of the day, like I said, I do not trust Burnley going forward. Players like Cornet missed a massive chance against Norwich to make it 1-1, and you never know, maybe they could have come back and won that game. So even if Burnley get the chances, like I said in my last video, I just do not trust them to put that ball in the back of the net. I feel like even with a jaded, not rested West Ham side who are going to be tired, I feel like they still have enough up front to get the job done. So going this game, West Ham at home, they're going to have their fan base cheering them on. I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory for the home side West Ham. So the next game I'm going to be predicting, and the last game I'm going to be predicting, is Watford versus Brentford. And we know this game is so important for Watford because although they have an outside chance of trying to escape relegation zone, it is still a chance, and they're going to be chasing this like crazy, and they're going to need a massive victory in this game against Brentford. Roy Hodgson, it's now or never. If they don't do it now, when are they ever going to get the opportunity of trying to escape relegation? Because games are running thick and thin, and it's pretty much nearly the end of the season. However, the game against Brentford, it's not going to be easy. Brentford have won 4 of their last 5 games, and it's proven that Christian Eriksen has been a decisive signing for them, being absolutely phenomenal, re-enlighting that spark for Brentford, which wasn't really there in the middle of the season because it felt like they started to fade, they started to draw and lose games. But his inspirational play has been absolutely phenomenal, which has improved the quality levels of players like Ivan Toney, who are starting to fire goals into the back of the net again, and even Mwembu. Those two up front have been an underrated duo, the way they play off each other, they understand each other's games. Ivan Toney obviously dropping off deep, winning the ball, being the target man, and they have Mwembu, and that paid dividends in the game against West Ham, which saw them winning 2-0 in this game. So Brentford are in fabulous sort of form. They have the confidence, they have the spirits, it's high, and going this game, surely they are the favourites, and they're pretty much a better side compared to Watford. I know Roy Hodgson improved Watford defensively at the beginning when he just came in, but that was that new manager bounce back, the new manager Phil, and pretty much Leopards don't really change its spots, and Watford do not really have the personnel to keep clean sheets, play that sort of 4-5-1 structured defensive style of football to ensure that Brentford can be gated and not be able to score a goal. So going in this game, surely there's only going to be one winner. I know Brentford away from home aren't really great this season, haven't really won that many games. I feel like they've only won 2 or 3, but I just feel like they have the quality to beat Watford, especially with a Watford side who defensively are a shambles. So going this game, I'm going to be predicting an away victory for the away side, 2-1 for Brentford.